Well, hi everybody. I am Dr. Minda Stackelhouse. I am the Assistant Director of Curriculum and Instruction here at Oro Grande School District. So what would you like to know?
So, Dr. Stackelhouse, what interested you to join XQ?
Well, when I heard about XQ, it connects with everything that I'm focused on in education. I have been in education for over 20 years, and one of my big focuses is innovation. And the realization after working in both elementary, middle school, and high school systems that we're not doing a good job and we're failing kids. And even though we have successes, I tend to focus on the kids that we're losing and not connecting with. So when I heard about XQ, and I heard about it from my director of the department, Kyla Rivera, it connected. It was this great opportunity to bring about innovation and really think about ways that we can do something different.
So, Dr. Stackelhouse, how long have you lived in the high desert?
Oh, I'm almost afraid to admit how long I've been here. It's making me old. I have lived in the high desert since 1973. I was a military brat. My dad was in the military, and at that time George Air Force Base was open. So we were stationed at George Air Force Base, and I have a real long history in the high desert. I'm really proud of that. I went to elementary school, junior high, high school, graduated from Apple Valley High School. I went to our local community college. I went to Cal State San Bernardino, and I got my master's degree and my doctorate at our local Brandman University. So I'm really proud of the roots that I have in our community.
So, you attended high school in the high desert. How has the high desert school system changed since you went to high school here?
It's a great question. I think that's one of the problems. I don't think high school has changed a lot at all. I think that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a system that's been the same system for over 100 years. And whereas it was successful for me, I had good experiences in high school, and I thought my high school did a great job. I don't know that I could say that it's accomplishing that same goal and purpose for all students. So I'm proud of the work that I did at my local high school, but I'm a realist about the fact that things have to change.
Okay. So, to finish off, what is one word you would use to describe the high school education system?
Failing.
My name is Kyla Rivera, and I am the Director of Curriculum Instruction for the Oro Grande School District. I have been in education for about 12 years and have had many positions, teacher, principal, and a director in education. I was born in the high desert in California and went to school in the high desert and went away to college and came back.
So, to understand what our students and what our youth needs, what is the number one thing our community has to change in order for our school system to work better?
Well, I think we need to do a better job of exposure. I think that we have a lot of really bright, talented young youth in our community. And regardless of the fact that we have the plight of low socioeconomic families who live in our community and don't have as many resources as maybe other communities have, we still have bright, talented, extremely intelligent youth. And we need to do a better job of exposing our students to the possibilities that are out there for them. If they don't know that there are opportunities to learn and to grow and to create knowledge, then they never will have the passion to do that.
And for our final question, what is one word you will use to describe the high school education system?
Challenged.
Well, I have lived in the high desert my whole life. Was born out here in 1971. I went to Phelan Elementary School and graduated from Serrano High School. Went to Victor Valley Community College and then the University of Redlands. So I'm very familiar with the high desert here. My wife also born and raised here, and I've been in education for the last 20 years. Started out as a math teacher and moved up on through administration.
So, when was the specific moment in your career that made you question the education system?
You know, I think I actually started to question the education system when I was in high school. And especially as I got to my senior year, I saw really two things that really disturbed me about the education system. One was the influence that other students had on each other. It seemed to be so powerful, the peer pressure that students could put on another student. And for the most part, it wasn't good. I watched students' lives get ruined because of the peer pressure that was on them. And yet at the same time, there was other students who were influenced by other students for the positive. They ended up going to college because of the power of their peers. And I just think that that's probably the most powerful force in education is peer pressure. And the adults need to be channeling that in a positive way so that peer pressure is pushing kids to be successful and not to do the wrong things.
So, what is one word you would use to describe the high school education system?
One word, our current system. I would say short-sighted.
Hi, I'm Samantha Stackelhouse. I'm 16 years old, and I go to Excelsior Charter School. And I am a Youth Advisory Council member for Supervisor Robert Lovingood for San Bernardino County.
Great. So Sam, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I have been in the high desert for 16 years. I have attended Endeavor for my elementary school, Sitting Bull. I went to Apple Valley High School for 2 years, and now I'm at Excelsior Charter School. I'm enrolled in Brandman classes for college. I love to sing, and I'm really close to my family, so I also really like to participate in government aspects. I interned for the congressman for about a year, and now being on Supervisor Robert Lovingood's council, that's another thing.
Okay, so tell us how you got started in XQ.
My mom introduced it to me. She started working on the project and wanted to find a way to bring youth voice into it. And knowing that I was on the council, the two kind of clicked together. So I brought the idea to the council, and we brought it on as our year project. So for almost a year now, not quite though, we've been working with the Apple Store. We've been working with all of the members of our schools. Every youth council member almost has a different school. So we've been able to bring questions to almost a lot of the schools in the high desert to ask them, what's going wrong with high school and what's going right and what can we do.
So what do you think you learned from working on the XQ project?
I think I learned that the problem is a lot bigger than I thought it was. I would say I'm a pretty successful student, and seeing that other people aren't having the same opportunities as me or aren't doing as well as I am was hard to see.
So if you could change one thing about high school, what would it be?
If I could change one thing about high school, I would change that every class and every elective is supposed to fit one cookie cutter student. I think that we need to change it so that the education fits the individual student.
And do you feel like the application that you helped put together accomplishes that?
I do. I think our application and our ideas for what a school can be are really, really great. So.
These survey questions out, and it was a total of 20 questions. And then the youth advisory students, we decided we needed iPads because it would just make sense that they have an iPad to be able to give to people to complete these surveys. So we tried ordering the iPads online, and it didn't work, and we didn't know why. At the time it didn't work, but I ended up in the Apple Store about an hour away from here. So I was in the Apple Store purchasing 20 iPads, and thank you, Apple, for being inquisitive. They started asking questions about why are you buying all these iPads. And I just started talking about XQ and what we're doing with it. And from there, we partnered with the Apple Store. So that grew into this opportunity where we were able to take you and a couple of your colleagues from Youth Advisory Council down to Apple. How many times did we go?
About 5 or 6.
Yeah, it was, yeah, at least. I think there were a couple times that we went without the students. I think it was around 8 times, but it was so cool because here's all these Apple employees, what 180 employees they have in the store, and they basically just turned all their employees loose and said, whatever your talents and skills are, however you want to help apply it to this program and this application, go for it. And they gave them work time to do that, and they worked with you guys on how to build a video.
We're sitting at the table trying to figure out, like, okay, what can we do to make this school better? And I mean, it takes a little while to get going, but you know, they'd always focus like, well, can you incorporate technology into that? Or what would that look like? You know, draw it out. What would that be like with technology? Oh, you can have holograms and things like that. And then from there, you know, we could really start thinking outside of the box.
Yeah, it was really, it was so much fun for me to watch the kids working with the Apple creatives, as they call themselves. I love that. But it just was really powerful to see that interaction. And I think it helped us reinforce our concept even more about the power of people with skills and talents working with students and facilitating them and learning things that they're passionate about and the impact that it has.
And I think it validated the concept for us because as we were sitting around saying that we think that this is the best way students work, and we saw that in action. Yeah. We saw a group of people work collaboratively, be able to use their best talents to create pieces and help students. And so that successful company, Apple, believes in that model.
Yeah.
And they believe in that collaborative model. And we know from all research that intrinsic motivation is the best type of motivation for anybody. And the people we were working with were very intrinsically motivated to see this product, and they too believed in the power of what school can be for students.
Absolutely.
And so it was validating to see the collaboration happen between not only the employees who worked there, but the collaboration that happened with the students that we brought to work with Apple. And so the validation piece was huge.
In reflecting on what we did, I have to say, for me, that was probably one of the most impactful moments in the whole process.
Yeah. Now, the juvenile hall was, I think one of the really enlightening pieces was you could really see that these students were just all along looking for someone to believe in them.
Yeah.
Somebody to say,
Yeah.
stop pointing out all of their failures, and someone to finally come along and say, well, I think you can be successful at this.
It was hard. I mean, just to clarify, so we reached out to the principal of the local juvenile hall, and we got an opportunity to go on what they call their max unit. So these are kids under the age of 18 that have committed, I believe, serious crimes and are on their way, once they're of age, into the prison system. And we took some of the same questions that we were asking all of our kids in the high desert that were in high school. We took the questions to them because I think the three of us showed a huge passion of, we're not just about the kids like, Samantha, that are really successful in school, that are, the system's working well for. We're focused is equally on the kids that it's not successful for. So we really felt like if we didn't reach out to students that we knew the system had failed, that we wouldn't get that valuable information. And I have to say, for me, it was really hard to be in that meeting because there were kids that I was their fellow principal in elementary and in some kids in high school. And as you guys know, I walked away feeling a lot of failure, that I saw kids in there that I didn't get the job done for. So that was hard, but learned a lot. Learned a lot from those end of them.
Well, it really speaks to the challenge of equity.
Yeah.
And while we have a great system in the United States that really believes in comprehensive education for all people, which is, I think, the foundation of the greatness of our nation, we have a lot to work on when it comes to equity.
Yes, we do.
And it really is, the civil rights movement of our time. And if you're not passionate about moving that forward, then you probably don't have a